Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
If I told you the Blue Jays are quietly closing in on an answer to their infield problem without Bo Bichette, without Alex Bregman, and without spending recklessly, this is exactly where that story begins. Welcome to the Blue Jays Report. And before we go any further, make sure you subscribe now so you do not miss how this unfolds, because what Toronto is doing right now is happening away from the spotlight. Toronto is coming off a season that drained everything emotionally and physically, a 7-game World Series loss to the Dodgers that ended one step short of a title. That result did not trigger panic. It sharpened focus and reset priorities inside the front office. This offseason is not about comfort. It is about tightening margins and correcting pressure points that became visible only at the very end. The Blue Jays are not operating around a single headline name this winter. Every decision is connected and each option affects the others. Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, Alex Bregman, and Ketel Marte all sit on the same internal board. Any shift changes the entire structure. Timing and leverage matter just as much as talent at this stage. Inside that moving board, a quieter name has entered the conversation: Yoan Moncada. The free agent third baseman was linked to Toronto on December 26th, placing the Blue Jays among a small group of interested teams. This connection was not noise, it was deliberate and rooted in fit rather than flash. Moncada is not arriving with hype, but with context. Despite recent thumb and knee issues, he delivered a solid 2025 season and still profiles as a contributor among third basemen next year. This is not projection. It is based on what he already showed in limited time. In 84 games, Moncada produced 58 hits, drove in 35 runs, and hit 12 home runs. Those numbers came without extended rhythm, yet still held value within the Angels lineup. Among players who appeared in at least 80 games, he ranked near the top in on-base and slugging. Advanced metrics reinforce that picture. His 117 weighted runs created plus ranked third on the team behind only Mike Trout and Taylor Ward. Placed into the Blue Jays 2025 roster, that mark would have slotted him squarely in the middle of the lineup. This is the core of the plan: fixing the infield without tearing up the future. Moncada is not viewed as a savior. He is viewed as a piece, someone who maintains production while keeping options open, especially with uncertainty still surrounding Bichette. Toronto has younger infield options developing, including Jorge Burgos, coming off a team-leading RBI season, and Giovanni Planchard, with power potential. Adding Moncada does not block that pipeline. It creates breathing room and prevents rushed decisions. That structure matters because Toronto is not improvising. This move fits into a layered approach, balancing present competitiveness with future growth. Moncada brings nearly a decade of experience without demanding the roster revolve around him. The ceiling is already known. In 2019, Moncada delivered 161 hits, 79 RBI, 25 home runs, and 10 stolen bases in 132 games. That season remains the benchmark of what he can provide. The appeal lies in cost versus upside. This is not a peak value acquisition. It is a controlled bet on a player whose market value reflects risk, while the reward remains significant if health aligns. Organizations that read the market well exploit that gap. Toronto understands that injured players are often mispriced. The Blue Jays are not chasing perfection. They are chasing balance, where downside is manageable and upside fills a real need without closing future doors. There are clear risks. Moncada has surpassed 100 games only 4 times in 10 seasons. Durability is not theoretical. It is central, and availability determines value regardless of talent. That reality is not ignored inside the organization. There is also the question of redundancy. If Bichette or Bregman situations resolve fully, Moncada could shift roles or become depth, but Toronto values optionality and coverage more than rigid hierarchy. This approach shows how the Blue Jays operate, anticipating scenarios instead of reacting. Connecting to names like Moncada, Okamoto, and Marte signals preparation, not indecision. Toronto is building parallel paths, keeping the roster competitive today while protecting flexibility tomorrow. That discipline separates well-run franchises from reactive ones. Now the decision rests on execution and timing. Subscribe at the end so you stay with this story, because the next move will reveal just how serious this plan really is and whether Moncada becomes part of the solution or leverage for something bigger.